I really believe, and more importantly, people 100 times smarter than me, really believe this next 5 years is going to make or break the rest of your life. It's going to make or break the generations to come behind you. Because over the next 5 years, we're about to see a gap of wealth and opportunity and information happen so quickly that it'll feel to you like it happened overnight. And so, sure enough, you're going to say, oh my gosh, all the jobs went away. No, the opportunity transformed, but you didn't bother to transform with it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I'm grateful for the network I built and the circle of friends I run in. And that's going to have everything to do with the show that I end up talking about today. But, I always start my show with gratitude as a reminder, as a demonstration to you to like, hey, stop and smell the roses, stop and take inventory of what you do have going for you, stop and count your assets instead of always concentrating on what's missing or what's not working right now. Because when you do, you come from a much more empowered place where no matter how down and out you are, and trust me, I've had those times, right? Like if you've listened to the show, I've described a couple episodes about how bad the past year was with the furlough pivot and all that stuff and the stroke that I had and everything. But even when you're most down and out, if you start counting what you have going in your favor, then you realize that you have enough to be a springboard. And all you need is a springboard to then be able to launch into your next thing that's going to deliver you everything that you've always been hoping you'd get. So that's why I always start my show with gratitude. I would love to hear what you're grateful for right now. A few of you once in a while slide into my DMs and tell me, and I absolutely love that. Now, I said my gratitude, which was really grateful for the circle of friends that I run in and the high-level conversations that we have. I said that because it's preparing me for what's coming. Like, I am not on the outside looking in. I don't feel the risk of being left behind. And I know a lot of people are not in that position. They're either unaware, and I mean completely unaware of how fast things are about to change, or they are aware of it, but feel completely on the outside and don't know where to start. And the short answer is this. You just hang up right after I say this. Here's where you start. You go force yourself into the rooms where the conversations are happening, period. Now, if we're going to get more granular, there's 3 things that I want to share today. 3 things that you should be doing over the next 5 years, starting yesterday. Because the next 5 years are absolutely imperative to the rest of your future. I really believe, and more importantly, people 100 times smarter than me, really believe that over the next 5-year window, this is it. This is our opportunity. This is the rocket ship. This is the moment that you're left down on Earth or you're up in a brand new Mars. This next 5 years is going to make or break the rest of your life. It's going to make or break the generations to come behind you, your kids' lives when they grow up to be adults, your grandkids' lives when they grow up to be adults. Because over the next 5 years, we're about to see a gap of wealth and opportunity and information happen so quickly that it'll feel to you like it happened overnight, even though it was over the course of 5 years. And you're going to wake up and say, oh my God, how did I miss that boat? How did I miss that rocket ship? How am I back here right now? And I don't even see the opportunity to get to where I would consider normal in the new normal. Now, by the way, this is not like scary or doom or gloom or, oh my God, AI is coming or anything like that. But it is factual that we are right now on the front end. Matter of fact, we are already in a 5-year period where more change and greater change will take place quicker than any generation before us has experienced, not by a little margin, but by a huge margin. And that's because we've reached that hockey stick part of the growth chart when it comes to machine learning and human capabilities, right? So there's always been gradual, incremental change. This is going to make the Industrial Revolution look like just a hiccup of change. And up until now, that was the greatest change that we've ever experienced of any generation. So here's the 3 things I would be doing right now if I were you. I'm doing these things, by the way. And the first thing is this. I'd be learning everything I can about AI. And I'd be seeing, how does it fit into my future career? How is it going to affect my industry? And how is it going to affect my life? And I would play a lot of what if as you start to learn. Okay, what if it does this? What would I do? What if it does that? What does my family do? What if it does this? What happens to the economy? What if it does that? What happens to, how people earn a living, a wage? But the first step of that is learning everything you can about AI and then playing all of the what if scenarios for yourself. Now, we should always be learning, right? But right now, I'm telling you, you should be spending a minimum of 2 hours a week or more intentionally seeking out and intentionally learning about the AI capabilities that are coming and the AI trends that are coming. And you're going to feel like as soon as you learn about it, it changes, because guess what? It is. That's why we are in this 5-year period where things are changing so quickly that you're not even going to be able to feel like you keep up unless you're intentionally trying to keep up. And it's not even going to be comfortable trying to keep up. But the truth is, you got no other choice. So it's time to start dedicating 2 hours a week or more to purposely seeking out an education on what's coming, what's trending, what's changing in AI and technology right now. So what does that look like? You got to start following all the AI informational pages out there, and not the douchebags on social media that are pretending that they know about AI, but like real AI pages that share articles of what's coming out and share research of what's coming out and share all of the peer review studies that are coming out and all those things. You can find them. Just start using that search bar at the top of your social media. This is not hard to do. No one's going to hand these to you or send them to you to follow. This is going to take a little bit of legwork, each one of these things I talk about, but what's the alternative? Get left behind? So start following all the AI informational and educational pages out there on social media and get them into your algorithm. Comment on them, like them, save them, so that they start feeding it to you in the algorithm. Now, I'm not kidding when I say maybe even taking an online college course in AI, and then taking another, and then taking another. Something you can do at night while you're at home, because this is going to have a large impact on everything in your personal life and everything in your professional life, everything in your financial life, and in between. And so you have to understand the basic premise of what AI is, how it works, where it's going, so that you can understand how it's going to fit into your life, so that you can get out ahead of it. So I'm not kidding when I say maybe even take a college course. My business partner, Matt, enrolled in a college program about AI at MIT. He's taking it online because he understands the significance of needing to know about this stuff. Not because you're interested in it, because nothing's going to have a bigger impact on your life than this. And you either are going to wake up and be one of the guys in camp that understand it, or you're going to be one of the people who doesn't. You see, here's the thing. Everyone says, oh, jobs are going away. Jobs are going away. No, the jobs as you know it are going away, but new jobs are going to be created. But here's the rub. The truck driver that doesn't know anything about AI can't suddenly take one of these new jobs. The teacher that suddenly doesn't know anything about AI can't suddenly take one of these new opportunities. Mill worker, the assembly line worker, the accountant, the lawyer. Yes, all of the white collar informational jobs that are going to go away. It's not that they're not going to be replaced with new opportunities. It's that if you don't understand AI and technology, even if you don't like it, too bad, so sad. If you don't understand it, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of the new opportunity, the new jobs, the new careers. And so sure enough, you're going to say, oh my gosh, all the jobs went away. No, the opportunity transformed, but you didn't bother to transform with it. And what sucks about this is there's going to be plenty of maybe 50-somethings, 60-somethings, 70-somethings that are like, it's too late for me to learn. And in some people's case, that might be the fact. but it's never too late to roll up your sleeves, dust off your learning skills, and be determined to keep up with the new world that's coming. Because again, I ask you, what's the alternative? So start experimenting with it in those couple hours a week or more. Try all the different apps, make videos with it, make photos with it, start to learn how to use it, start to have fun with it. Use ChatGPT as more than just a search engine. Same with Grok and Veo and Gemini and everything else. Download these things and start playing with them intentionally. Start asking them to tutor you. Hey, chat, if I wanted to learn about AI and I wanted to be proficient in it, could you walk me through a 20-minute per day lesson for the next 50 days in a row? Boom, done. So it's not like the resources aren't available to you. You're not intentionally seeking them out and doing them yet. So that's the first one. Time to learn everything, whether this is in your wheelhouse or not. You've been warned. Second one, get into the rooms and get into the conversation circles where the highest level ideas are being shared. You may not want to spend the money to get into them, but it's not an option right now. It's like saying, well, I don't want to spend the money on a college education 25 years ago or 30 years ago when that was the route to the best paying job. Well, you know what happened back then if you didn't. You had a much harder path in front of you to earn a good living. Now, listen, that's not the case for college anymore, but 25, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that absolutely was the case. You can't dispute that. Well, this is that on steroids. And so you may not have wanted to spend the money on your college education 30 years ago, but you're probably glad you did. Just like you may not want to spend the money on getting into some of the masterminds or getting into some of the social circles or whatever it is that's going on right now. But this is the new version of paying for college, is paying to get into the conversation circles where the highest level ideas are being talked about and shared, or you're going to be left behind. It's funny. I just shared an idea with one of my friends who's a very intelligent friend and a very hardworking friend and a pretty successful friend. I just shared this idea with him that my other friends and I had been talking about more than 6 months ago on a regular basis. And his mind was absolutely blown. He couldn't fathom. He's like, what do you mean, blah, blah, blah? What do you mean this? And it was the first time he was hearing of it. Now, good news, bad news. Good news, he's now caught up and is able to start implementing this in his business and his career. Bad news, had he not tripped across this in a conversation with me, he'd still be left behind. So how quickly can you accelerate the conversational collisions that you need to have with the right people in the right rooms that are even on the projects of what's happening? You have to understand, people are already implementing things that are experimental. Those are the ones you want to be talking to because they know what's coming next. The third thing I'd be doing is I'd start learning about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, tech investments, AI investments, etc. Now, let me be crystal clear. I am not a financial advisor. I've got no interest in being one. So I'm not giving you financial advice. My advice is it's time for you to start taking ownership of learning about these things because you're going to miss the greatest wealth creation 5-year period in the history of mankind between what's going to happen with tech companies, AI companies, and a couple of cryptocurrencies out there. Because they all have something to do with each other, believe it or not. And it's going to be one of those situations where the amount of wealth that's going to be created over the next 5 years will never be matched in the history of our life and will never be matched in the future in any concentrated period of time. So you literally can't afford to miss being in the game on some of these opportunities, or everyone else will get so rich around you that you'll be left behind. Unfortunately, what is likely coming is the biggest, most unimaginable gap between people that got super rich over the next 5 years and people that didn't for one reason or another because they sat it out or they waited too long or they didn't want to get into the conversation or they thought they were too busy to do the work or they thought they were too busy to do the research or thought they were too busy to learn. And they're going to wake up and it's going to feel like it was overnight and they're going to say, oh my God, how did this happen? How did things become so expensive? And how did I end up with so little buying power in my dollar? But it doesn't have to be that way. Right now, you can set up your family and your family's family and generations to come over the next 5 years like you've never had an opportunity for before. Now, can I read the future? No. But am I plugged into all the circles where everyone's having the highest level conversations? Absolutely. And so this is me sharing it with you. Don't miss this. Don't miss this opportunity, or you're going to feel like, oh, in my lifetime, in my kid's lifetime, we're probably not going to have an opportunity to catch up like this again. Especially if you waited too late for your future, for your retirement, your 40s you're listening, 50s you're listening, 60s. It's not too late. If you start taking ownership of learning where to put your money. Now, no one's going to come to you and share a podcast with, hey, dude, put your money in these 10 things. And all of a sudden, you're just going to be able to do it. No, you need to roll up your sleeves and take ownership. That's the word, of learning about the opportunities that are coming. Learning what the wealth advisors are saying out there. Watching where they're putting their money. Guys, life is pretty easy. Wherever the richest people in the world are putting their money, put your money there. This is not hard. This is not rocket science. Because you got to know that they know a thing or two about what's coming because they are the creators of what's coming. So if you just put your money where they're putting their money, that's the easiest thing on the entire planet that you can do, right? Makes sense. But I'm dead serious right now. The wealth gap is going to be so insane in about 5 years from now, maybe 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, or maybe 4 years, but give or take in about 5 years from now, that you likely won't be able to catch up again after that. Now, the great news is it's still early enough to get on that train and end up on the wealthy side of things, without a doubt. The bad news is some of you are going to hear this and not do anything about it. No one's bringing you a Post-it note with instructions on where to put your money. It's time for you to start listening to the right podcasts. It's time for you to start reading the right books, even if you're not interested in them. It's time for you to start doing your own research. The very thing that is concerning is the very thing that's going to give you a lot of answers, right? Time for you to start using ChatGPT and creating your own plan, or at least getting into the circles where people are talking about the plans of where to put your money and how to make sure that you end up on the right side of history with all of the advancements in wealth that is coming over the next 5 years. You know, I share these 3 things. And just as a reminder, it's start learning intentionally everything you can about AI and seeing how it fits into your life and career. The second one is getting into the rooms where the conversations are happening at the highest levels. And then the third one is start learning about, cryptocurrency opportunities, tech investments, AI opportunities, etc. I share these 3 things so that you can start doing them right now. And not passively doing them, but aggressively doing them. Because I run in the circles that understand what's coming. Not doom and gloom, believe it or not. Not some tragic ending, believe it or not. But instead the opposite. Here's what's coming right now in front of your face. Insane opportunity. Insane opportunity like we have never, ever experienced before. But if you don't take part in it, then you interpret it in 5 years as doom and gloom. Then you interpret it as being left behind. Then you interpret it as missing out or being unlucky or being, I hate to say it, but poor or whatever we're going to classify it as at that time. So don't. Make the right choices. Do the right work. You now have a new part-time job. You are now on notice. You now have a new part-time job, whether you wanted one or not. And that is doing these 3 things on a regular basis. I share these things because I care about everybody who listens, and I want everybody to be brought along in this world of insane and awesome opportunity that's presenting itself to us over the next 5 years. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get into some of these higher level conversations, there's always our elite level mastermind. That doesn't enroll until October. But we do have one of our VIP 2-day weekend masterminds coming up, where you come to our house and we work on your business. And Lori and I share what our friends are talking about while we're working on your business. It's a way for you to inject yourself into these conversations where other people want to have these conversations too. And some of the most incredible people come to these things. So if you're interested, and you get to be on our podcast, by the way, we record in our home studio here during those 2 days while we're all collaborating and masterminding together. Go check it out. You can get all the information you want. It's mid-October. You can get the dates. You get everything else at chrisharder.me/weekend. But it's more than half sold out. So grab a seat right away if there's one there for you. If you're at all at least curious, all right, fine. I want to have these conversations. I want to be a part of the inner circle. Go to chrisharder.me, that's .me, chrisharder.me/weekend. Grab a seat or send me a DM asking about it. I can't wait to see who we collaborate with, share ideas with, talk about what's coming with in mid-October right here in our home. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Always love and appreciate you, and always looking out for you.
Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.